The toxic plumes and poisonous runoff from the fiery Norfolk Southern train wreck aren't just putting East Palestine, Ohio at risk, but neighboring towns too.
I left Monday afternoon before the detonation. I took as many animals as I could, and I took my kids, and we left.
Kayla Miller and her family keep a farm raising various poultry, fowl, goats, and a pig in nearby Negley, just about 10 minutes south of town.
Hey, Petunia. I think she's starting to gain her weight back a little bit, but she's just not as active as she should be.
The Millers had to evacuate. The rail company and first responders detonated and burned off toxic materials in the train tanks to avert even more catastrophe.
Initially, the first one I found, he was in the farthest coop up there.
When they returned, Miller found some of her birds were sick or dead.
And for days after that, he just was not himself. He stayed away from everybody, and he's a rooster, so he's constantly chasing the other one.
Miller adds her stepdaughter developed a rash and respiratory problems, she thinks from the polluted air and water.
I absolutely think that it was probably a lot to do with the air, because you could smell it for days. We could smell it. And I don't know, it might be in their water.
Miller not the only parent showing us photos of children with symptoms of sickness. In response, federal and state health officials will open a clinic to treat those who think they've suffered chemical exposures. It will be inside a local church. A mobile unit will park outside.
We're in Negley, Ohio. We are 3.5 miles from the derailment site.
Tiffany Gorby lives down the road from the Millers, her family making do with bottled water, not from the taps.
Definitely. Everything that we get comes from Palestine. It's all running down to us. We are on well water.
Scripps News filmed Columbiana County Health Department officials testing her neighbor's well.
Maybe right now our well water is good, but in 5 years, and even in 6 months, is our well water still going to be okay?
The Gorbys invited us to film the same crew testing their well, but when they returned to the Gorbys' home, the health official refused to test because we were recording.
Back and then we'll set up a day where, that can take place, or we can work.
Even with our offer to leave, they rescheduled the appointment.
It's definitely within walking distance.
The body of water that concerns the two mothers, Leslie Run, which pollutants have seeped into. We filmed a dead minnow and more residue accumulating near a boom that's supposed to mitigate the damage.
There's always been that joke that when East Palestine flushes their toilets, Negley gets a drink of water.
The anxiety doesn't stop at the Ohio-Pennsylvania state line.
Worried about kind of long-term effects, about what's going on in the soil, the environment, that sort of thing.
Matt Dayton lives and works in Darlington, Pennsylvania, around 10 miles east from East Palestine. He says customers visiting the deli and butcher shop where he works saw and smelled the toxic smoke too.
The EPA says everything's fine. I don't know entirely about how much I can trust that or not.
Two smaller towns on either side, even if farther away from the catastrophe, want just as much help and attention.
But it's just as bad for us too. We evacuated, we left. We need the help as much as they do. We need to know that you're coming to us, that you're going to test our water, our soil, our air.
And for the clinic here, the state health department urging people to make appointments as soon as they can. It'll open up around noon tomorrow. We also learned that the governors of Pennsylvania and Ohio will be having a joint news conference with the EPA's administrator, Michael Regan, tomorrow at 12:30 p.m., and we'll be on top of that. Lauren?
National correspondent John Moan reporting on the ground in East Palestine, Ohio. Thank you very much. Important stuff there, speaking to folks who are clearly feeling the impacts.